Religion was the lifeblood of Thracian culture, deeply intertwined with their daily lives, governance, and worldview. The Thracians believed that the natural world was infused with divine power, and their spirituality revolved around worshiping the forces of nature. They revered mountains, rivers, the sun, and the moon as sacred entities that connected them to the gods. Thracian religion was not confined to temples or structured liturgy. It was a lived experience, woven into their every interaction with the environment. Central to Thracian spirituality was the belief in the immortality of the soul. They viewed death as a passage rather than an end, and their funerary practices reflected this belief. Lavish burials with weapons, ornaments, and other goods were common, symbolizing the journey to the afterlife. This conviction also shaped their heroic ethos, as warriors faced battle with fearlessness, assured of their soul's eternal destiny. The Thracians worshipped a pantheon of gods and goddesses, many of whom were later syncretized with Greek deities. Chief among these was Sabazios, the sky and thunder god, who embodied the creative and destructive powers of nature. Another prominent figure was Bendis, the goddess of the hunt and the moon, often associated with fertility and healing. These deities underscored the Thracians' reverence for balance and harmony in the natural world. Religious practices among the Thracians were characterized by ecstatic rituals and ceremonies. They believed that through music, dance, and altered states of consciousness, they could commune directly with the divine. These rites, which were integral to their culture, set the stage for the development of their most enigmatic spiritual tradition, the cult of Orpheus. Orpheus, the legendary poet and musician, occupies a central place in Thracian mythology and spirituality. Regarded as both a mortal and a divine figure, Orpheus was believed to have been born in the mountains of Thrace, where he was gifted with extraordinary musical talent by the gods. His lyre, given by Apollo, could charm animals, move trees, and even calm the seas. Orpheus became a symbol of the Thracian connection to nature and the divine. According to myth, Orpheus's music and poetry were not just artistic expressions, but spiritual tools capable of bridging the gap between the mortal and divine realms. He was said to have descended into the underworld to retrieve his beloved Eurydice, using his music to persuade Hades and Persephone to release her. Although the attempt ultimately failed, the story reflects the Thracian belief in the transformative power of art and spirituality. Orpheus was also associated with the mysteries of life and death, particularly the journey of the soul. As a prophet, he imparted teachings about the afterlife, emphasizing purification, spiritual enlightenment, and the cyclical nature of existence. These teachings formed the basis of the Orphic Mysteries, a spiritual tradition that influenced not only the Thracians, but also the broader ancient world, including Greek and Roman thought. The legacy of Orpheus transcended his mythic narrative, becoming a symbol of Thracian identity and their unique spiritual worldview. Through his association with music, poetry, and mysticism, Orpheus encapsulated the Thracian ideals of harmony, courage, and the pursuit of transcendence. His story laid the groundwork for the development of a religious movement that would captivate generations. The Orphic Mysteries were a set of esoteric religious teachings and rituals that sought to guide adherents towards spiritual enlightenment and unity with the divine. Rooted in the mythology of Orpheus, these mysteries revolved around themes of purification, the immortality of the soul, and the quest for ultimate truth. Participants believed that by following the Orphic path, they could achieve liberation from the cycle of life and death. Orphic rituals were deeply symbolic and often shrouded in secrecy. Initiates underwent purification ceremonies involving water, fire, and sacred herbs to cleanse their souls and prepare them for spiritual transformation. Music and poetry, believed to possess divine power, played a central role in these ceremonies, creating an atmosphere of transcendence and connection with the gods. One of the core teachings of the Orphic Mysteries was the dual nature of humanity. According to Orphic doctrine, humans were composed of both divine and mortal elements. This belief stemmed from the myth of Dionysus, Zagreus, who was dismembered by the Titans, but later reborn. Orphics interpreted this myth as a metaphor for the human struggle to reconcile their divine essence with earthly existence. The ultimate goal of the Orphic mysteries was to achieve spiritual liberation, known as ecstasis, or standing outside oneself. This state was believed to bring unity with the divine and freedom from the cycle of reincarnation. Through meditation, ascetic practices, and ritual communion, adherents sought to transcend their mortal limitations and experience divine harmony. The Orphic mysteries had a profound impact on Greek religious thought, shaping the development of Greek mystery cults, such as those of Eleusis and Dionysus. Greek philosophers like Pythagoras and Plato were influenced by Orphic teachings, incorporating their ideas of the soul's immortality and the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment into their philosophies. This cross-cultural exchange highlighted the Thracians' intellectual contributions to the ancient world. Orphism's emphasis on music, poetry, and mysticism resonated deeply with Greek culture, which revered artistic and intellectual pursuits. The incorporation of Thracian musical traditions into Greek religious ceremonies further strengthened the connection between the two cultures. Through these interactions, the Thracians left an indelible mark on the religious and cultural landscape of ancient Greece. Thracian influence extended beyond religion, shaping Greek art and literature as well. The myth of Orpheus inspired countless works of poetry, drama, and sculpture, many of which depicted his descent into the underworld and his tragic love for Eurydice. These artistic expressions served as a bridge between Thracian and Greek cultural traditions, enriching both civilizations. Despite their integration into Greek culture, the Orphic mysteries retained their distinct Thracian identity. The Thracians' unique blend of spirituality, mythology, and artistic expression ensured that their contributions were recognized as foundational to the development of ancient mysticism. This enduring legacy reflects the depth and complexity of Thracian religious thought. While Orpheus and the Orphic mysteries were central to Thracian spirituality, the goddess Bendis also played a prominent role in their religious life. Bendis, a lunar deity associated with hunting and nature, was revered as a protector of women, children, and the wild. She embodied the cyclical rhythms of life and nature, symbolizing renewal, fertility, and the delicate balance between humanity and the natural world. Worship of Bendis involved nocturnal rituals that celebrated her connection to the moon. These ceremonies often took place in sacred groves or on mountaintops, where worshippers would dance, sing, and offer sacrifices under the light of the full moon. The rituals emphasized harmony with nature and the cycles of time, reflecting the Thracians' deep respect for the environment. Bendis's cult spread beyond Thrace, particularly to Athens, where her worship was officially recognized during the 5th century BCE. The Athenians adopted her as a foreign goddess, but maintained her Thracian attributes, highlighting her universal appeal. In Athens, she was honored with festivals such as the Bendidia, which featured processions, races, and musical performances, showcasing the cultural exchange between Thrace and Greece. The prominence of Bendis in both Thracian and Greek culture underscores the adaptability and influence of Thracian spirituality. Her worship provided a spiritual framework that connected individuals to the natural world and the divine, reinforcing the central role of religion in Thracian identity. Bendis remains a powerful symbol of the Thracian cultural legacy. Dionysus, the god of wine, ecstasy, and transformation, holds a significant place in both Thracian and Greek mythology. The Thracians worshipped an early form of Dionysus, known as Zagreus, who represented the duality of life and death, creation and destruction. This dual nature resonated deeply with the Thracians, who saw life as a cycle of eternal renewal. Thracian rituals dedicated to Dionysus were ecstatic and transformative, involving music, dance, and intoxication. These ceremonies sought to dissolve the boundaries between the individual and the divine, allowing participants to experience unity with the cosmos. The Thracians believed that through these rituals, they could access higher states of consciousness and achieve spiritual liberation. The myth of Dionysius's dismemberment and rebirth, central to Orphic teachings, reflected the Thracian understanding of the cyclical nature of existence. This narrative also symbolized the struggle between chaos and order, a theme that permeated Thracian spirituality. Dionysius's connection to the Thracians highlights their profound influence on the evolution of Greek religious thought. Through their worship of Dionysus, the Thracians contributed to the development of mystery cults across the ancient world. These cults emphasized personal spiritual experiences, initiation, and the pursuit of divine knowledge. The Thracian interpretation of Dionysus enriched these traditions, leaving a lasting impact on the spiritual heritage of the ancient Mediterranean. Thracian burial practices revealed a profound belief in the afterlife and the immortality of the soul. Tombs were often constructed as monumental mounds, or tumuli, that served as gateways to the spiritual realm. These elaborate structures reflected the social status of the deceased and their anticipated journey to the afterlife, emphasizing the Thracians' respect for their ancestors. Inside the tombs, archaeologists have discovered a wealth of artifacts, including weapons, jewelry, and pottery. These items were meant to accompany the deceased into the next world, ensuring their comfort and status in the afterlife. The practice of burying horses and chariots alongside their owners further illustrates the Thracians' belief in a continuation of earthly roles and possessions beyond death. Funeral rituals were elaborate and often communal, involving feasts, music, and sacrifices. These ceremonies honored the deceased and reinforced communal bonds among the living. They also served as a reminder of the cyclical nature of life, a central tenet of Thracian spirituality. By celebrating the passage of the soul, the Thracians' burial practices highlight their unique blend of practicality and spirituality. These rituals not only reflected their religious beliefs, but also preserved their cultural identity. The monumental tombs and their contents remain a testament to the Thracians' artistic and spiritual achievements, offering valuable insights into their worldview. Thracian spirituality, characterized by its reverence for nature, belief in the immortality of the soul, and emphasis on personal transformation, left a profound legacy in the ancient world. Through figures like Orpheus and deities such as Bendis and Dionysus, the Thracians influenced the development of religious traditions far beyond their homeland. The Orphic mysteries, with their focus on purification and enlightenment, became a cornerstone of spiritual thought in the ancient Mediterranean. They inspired philosophical movements and mystery cults, shaping the intellectual and cultural landscape of Greece and Rome. This cross-cultural exchange underscores the Thracians' role as key contributors to the spiritual heritage of the ancient world. Thracian burial practices and monumental art also serve as enduring symbols of their cultural and religious identity. The grandeur of their tombs and the richness of their artifacts reflect a society deeply connected to its spiritual beliefs. These legacies continue to captivate modern historians and archaeologists, shedding light on the complexity and sophistication of Thracian civilization. Today, the memory of Thracian spirituality endures as a testament to their creativity, resilience, and profound understanding of the human condition. Their contributions to religion, art, and philosophy remain an integral part of the history of the ancient Balkans, ensuring that the Thracians' voice continues to resonate through the ages.